second graders, this week we've talked about finding a notebook, jotting down some notes about a story that you would like to write, something that happened to you. So a true story. And remember, I'm writing about my dog Pooh when she got lost during a storm. Then we looked at Owl Moon, written by Jane Yolen, and we discovered some things that Jane does in her writing that makes her story more interesting. She does a really good job of comparing. She uses animal sounds, and she's really good at describing things so that we can really picture what's happening. Owl Moon is written about something that happened just one night. And The Leaving Morning is a story that happened one morning. Both of these stories are what you would call a small moment story. They're not written about something that took place over many, many days or weeks or months or even years. They were just one day, right? My story about Pooh is actually going to take place over about 4 days because that's how long she was gone in the blizzard. But when you write your story, it can be about something that just happened in one day. Now, let's see what Angela Johnson did that might be a little different from Jane Yolen when she wrote The Leaving Morning, and what was going on. They were moving, right? The leaving happened on a soupy, misty morning when you could hear the street sweeper. Shh, shh. That's supposed to sound like the street sweeper. She described that morning in a really interesting way. A soupy, misty morning. I kind of got a picture in my mind of what that morning looked like. Plus, I think the illustrator did a good job too. Who's the illustrator here? David Soman. All right, he did a good job too. And let's keep going. We pressed our faces against the hall window and left cold lips on the pane. Look at their lips right there. David Solomon did a good job drawing, showing the sadness in their faces, right? That's something. Oh, I'm so sorry. Sorry about that. That's something that this author does a good job of. She shows emotion in her writing, and also the illustrator really helped with that too. So there's a part where it says that, let me move to it. I'm not doing a very good job of videoing. I'm sorry. I hope you're still listening. The leaving had been long because we'd packed days before and said goodbye to everybody we knew. And keep going. Our friends. And look at the sad faces. That's where the illustrator really helped. The grocer. Everybody in our building. All these goodbyes. You can really feel the emotion of them as they have to say goodbye to everyone, but especially this page. And the cousins. Especially the cousins. It's really hard to say goodbye to family, isn't it? We said goodbye to the cousins all day long. Look how the illustrator helped show the emotion. That person is really sad saying goodbye, right? So emotion was something that this writer does. And then at the end again, it says, so I left lips on the front window of our apartment and said goodbye to our old place on the leaving morning. There's the lips. That's what I call repetition, when you repeat something and they left lips on the windows several times. So kind of like a kiss, almost saying goodbye to their home that they're leaving. They were sad as they left their home. But I also did really like on this page where they're sitting in their empty home because all their stuff is now gone. It says, I sat between my mama and daddy holding their hands. My daddy said in a little while we'd be someplace we'd love. So even though there's some sadness about leaving, they know that they're going to a good place too. So those are some things that you can add into your story when we start writing to help make it more interesting. Describe things. You can choose something to repeat in your story if it makes sense. You can have animal sounds if it makes sense to have an animal sound. It didn't make sense in this book, right? You can have emotion in your writing and in your illustrations because you'll be doing the drawings for your story. And you can learn to compare things to help the reader get a better picture of what's going on in your writing. Okay? Well, I'm looking forward to writing my story about my dog, Pooh, and I hope you're looking forward to writing your story too. We'll see you soon, and we'll get busy on our stories.